Three Counties Radio.
The Nine.
This morning, the stock exchange has taken a beating with the FTSE at 100 down by 2.3% early trading after US lawmakers rejected the $700 billion bailout plan for the country's economy. And Prime Minister Gordon Brown described the vote in America as very disappointing, but insisted the government was taking decisive action to maintain financial stability in the UK. What's it all going to mean? What's going to fall out? Let's speak to the Nine's financial guru, Jonathan Davies. Jonathan, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
So they couldn't get it through the House in America, the £700 bailout. So what's the knock-on going to be then, Jonathan?
Well, my first thought, this is Marxism at work. I mean Groucho Marx, not Karl Marx. The amount of money they're talking about to help bail out the system is truly remarkable. But you know what? Congress, which is like their members of Parliament, voted it down. Why? Because they were getting like 30, 40, 50 emails against it compared to everyone they got for it. Why? Because everyone quite clearly understands that ultimately the taxpayer is going to bail out the top 0.1 or 0.2% of the population who's sucking money up from the bottom into the top. Even though the vote didn't go through, what did the Fed do a few hours before they realised it was lost? They put $630 billion into the system. In other words, no difference. So why did they go for it in the first place? Because even though it's an astronomical sum of money, do you know what, Ronnie? It ain't enough. So the Fed realised it wouldn't be enough, so they wanted Congress to vote it through so that when it didn't work, they could blame Congress. So the Fed is the central bank of the US. They've put the money into the system anyway, and the result, the US stock market went down 8 or 9% yesterday. As it happens in the UK, stock markets have rallied a bit since the open, so we're about neutral from yesterday.
Jonathan, I became a banker twice again yesterday because I'm in the banking world now with the Northern Rock because I'm a banker, and then Bradford and Bingley. I'm now a part owner of Bradford and Bingley. Now, Jonathan, when can I expect my dividends to come through from my investment as a taxpayer in these banks?
Well, look, Gordon Brown talks about taking decisive action. Well, as I've said to you before, the action he should have taken was a few years ago when he should have turned off, as Chancellor of the Exchequer, the most powerful Chancellor we had in the last 100 years, he should have turned off the easy lending taps. But he didn't because he wanted to win elections. I need to say I'm non-partisan. Whether they're blue or red or blue, they make no difference because we've had the Barbour boom, which ended in a bust. We had the Lawson boom, which ended in a bust. They were Tories. Then we had the Brown boom, which ended in a bust. The answer to your question is all they're doing is deferring continued greater problems. All they're doing is pumping more and more money into the system, which means that in due course we'll be paying more taxes or getting reduced public services. The system is kaput. I know that sounds outlandish, but it is. We don't get the biggest financial institutions in the world going bust without there being absolutely terminal problems out there. You're saying when you're going to get your dividends. The dividends are in they're happening right now because you're not having massive hikes in taxes just now. But I'll tell you what, there's an election in 2 years' time. After that, I really can't imagine that they're not going to increase taxes or reduce public services after that.
The Nine's financial guru, Jonathan Davies. Just on that whole thing, we all became bankers second time around yesterday. You're a banker, I'm a banker now. We're all bankers. How do you feel being a banker?